Yeah.
So we're going to start with where you live. Okay, so is it a big city or a small place?
I live in Suzhou, which is a big city in China, and it is located in the southeast of China, near the sea.
Mm-hmm. And what do you like about it?
There are several reasons I like this place. First of all, I really like the atmosphere in this city. This city has lots of modern skyscrapers, which shows the high technology nowadays. But on the other hand, there are lots of traditional cultures, such as in Suzhou, there's some gardens, which is really traditional and very beautiful. So I think this is the combination of modern and the traditional that makes this city very attractive for me.
Okay. And what facilities does it have?
Because Suzhou is a big city, so there are lots of advanced public facilities there. Sorry, such as we have several big shopping malls. One of them is called Yuanrong, and there's many hospitals. In the city center or in the just next to our university. Yeah.
Okay, now let's talk about crowded places. So where is crowded in your hometown?
Well, I think on the road. So during during the rush time, there are lots of traffic jam on the road because lots of workers need to commute and to go back home or go on for work. So I think that is one of the crowdest time and the place in our city.
Mm-hmm. And how do you feel when you're in a crowded place?
Well, I feel nervous and a little bit uncomfortable because when a place with full of people makes me feel stressed, because I really like a peaceful and a very cozy environment instead of be stuck in a very stuck by a very crowded place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now let's talk about email. So how often do you send emails?
Well, I don't have a fixed frequency of sending emails, but as long as I receive an email, I will reply to it as soon as possible. And sometimes I need to send an email to my supervisor because I'm a final year of undergraduate student. So I'm doing my final year project now. So sometimes I need to contact with my supervisor by means of email. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what emails would you be happy to receive?
So if I get if I get an email from my ideal university for my postgraduate study, I will be extremely careful because I really want to go to Imperial College London for my postgraduate study. So if I get this email, I will just become crazy. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to give you a topic and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, you have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say and you can make some notes if you wish. Okay, I'd like you to describe a person you wanted to be similar to when you were growing up. Okay?
Yes.
Okay, you have 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Could you start speaking now, please?
The person I'd like to tell you about is my is my English teacher in my secondary school. And I met him on the first day of my secondary study. And she is my English teacher, so at the time, and she taught us lots of knowledge about English grammars, vocabularies, and so on. And what's more, she also played some English songs during the class to arouse our interest. And also, she showed us some movies from America, and so that we may exposed to a native English environment. Sometimes after class, I ask her for help if I had any questions, and she didn't have any hesitate to help me. The reason I would like to become this person is that she is really considerate and very nice. And the reason I want to become a teacher is that it is the teacher who gave the second generation knowledge and to raise them and to let them understand the whole world. So I think being a teacher would be a very exciting course for me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we've been talking about someone you wanted to be similar to, and now we're going to talk more generally about that. So what kinds of famous people would children like to be similar to?
Well, I think such as like movie stars or film stars, because the adults or children see them on TV very frequently, so they would like to be this kind of person, because these person are just in front of the audience, and they gain lots of popularities.
Okay, and that's right. Okay, and what kind of qualities do these people have that do you think that are attractive?
I suppose that being unique is a really good quality for those famous people, because most of our ordinaries in the world, we are just very those people to stand out from most of the people, so that they become very special. I think the other quality they may have is that they can jump out of the comfort zone, and they are willing to face the challenges they may have in the future.
Okay. And often famous people endorse products. They're in advertisements. Do you think that's right, or do you think there's some problems with that?
Well, I think recently there is a trend for those famous people advertise some products. So I think this is quite common nowadays. So there are several reasons. Firstly, if they advertise a product, they may appeal the customers to buy this product. But on the other hand, they need to take their responsibility to show the real quality of this product instead of just earning some money from these advertisements. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, that was very good. Very, very, very good. Let me go through. So the fluency is excellent. You have a really good range of introductory phrases, like first of all, on the other hand, I suppose that, at that time. So a really good range of ways to introduce your answer. They're very, very easy to follow, your answer. You speak, you give long answers to every question. So that's very, very good. There's a little bit of hesitation.
Yeah.
Sometimes you are looking, for a little bit. So just try and keep it smooth delivery. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's very good. The vocabulary also is excellent. Atmosphere, skyscrapers, arouse our attention, stand out, comfort zone. I mean, it was very good, and that was completely sustained throughout. So that was very good. Just a couple of things. Yeah, we say rush hour, not rush time.
Oh,
okay.
Okay.
Rush hour. So it's at rush hour. That's just the name for it. Yeah.
Okay. Rush hour.
And cheerful is more like it describes somebody's personality. So if someone is cheerful, they're happy all the time.
Yes.
Okay, so if you, like, in that case, if you said, if I got this kind of email,
it's just extremely happy, right?
Extremely happy, extremely happy. Would be over the moon is a good expression you could use for being really happy.
Okay.
So cheerful describes personality.
Okay.
But happy is like a reaction.
Okay.
But very, very good. Grammar, again, also very good. Complex sentences all the time. Good range. Tenses, all fine. Just a couple of things with prepositions. So after contact, there's no with. You just contact somebody.
Contact somebody. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so you can say get in touch with.
Yes, get in touch.
Or contact, but there's no preposition after contact. Okay, and appeal to. You appeal to somebody. So there's the preposition there. Okay.
Yeah.
And pronunciation was really nice. You have a very nice pronunciation in English.
Thank you.
There's sort of really no interference from your first language. Very easy to understand. Have a little bit of an American accent.
Okay.
So that's really, really good. So I think you'll do I think you'll do very well. Just there's a little hesitation sometimes, and sometimes you're rephrasing. So try and just to go
continue,
forward. Just continue and don't go back and start again, because then it can be a bit confusing. Okay.
Yes.
Do you have any questions?
So which band do you think I may get, just based on my answer?
Well, I'll write you a report. I think you're probably around a 6.5, getting on to a 7.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So, all right.
Yeah. Actually, this is my like ideal score, because so last time I did 6, and so I want to achieve 7, because for my UC or conditional offer, I need to achieve the total band is 7, and so I need to get 6.5 in each section. Yeah, so this is my goal.
Okay. You should get 6.5. Okay, you should.
Thank you.
Okay, but just with the fluency, just try and avoid the rephrasing and the hesitation, because that can bring it down. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Any other questions? All right. Okay. Take care, Catherine.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much for your help.
Okay, let's have a listen to this full test where the candidate supposedly got a 6.5.
So we're going to start with where you live. Okay, so is it a big city or a small place?
I live in Suzhou, which is a big city in China, and it is located in the southeast of China, near the sea.
Okay, so she's a little bit hesitant. Nothing too wrong with this answer, too much wrong with this answer. We have the relative pronoun which, we have the word located, we get southeast, so not bad, just a little bit hesitant, some unnecessary repetition there.
And what do you like about it?
There are several reasons I like this place. First of all, I really like the atmosphere in this.
Some stress there, I really like the atmosphere in the city. And the marker, first of all, preceded by the phrase several reasons. So several reasons, first of all, and we've got some use of pronunciation features.
This city has lots of modern skyscrapers. Which shows the high technology now.
Skyscrapers shows. Okay, so the subject and the verb don't agree here.
The high technology nowadays. But on the other hand.
Okay, so here this is a bit of a long pause there. On the other hand, okay, so let's see if this is really going to be a contrasting comment.
There are lots of traditional cultures, such as in Suzhou, there.
On the other hand, there are lots of traditional cultures, and then she talks about gardens. Is a garden a culture? What?
Gardens, which is really traditional.
She keeps on doing the same thing. She says gardens, and then she says which is. To get a 7 for grammar, error-free sentences have to be frequent. If you make simple mistakes like this, it's going to be difficult to frequently produce error-free sentences.
Which is really traditional and very beautiful. So I think this is the combination of modern and the traditional that makes this city very attractive for me.
I do like how she uses modern and traditional here as nouns. That's good. And here at least the subject and the verb agree because it's combination and it's mix. Okay, the answer is pretty well extended.
Okay. And what facilities does it have?
Because Suzhou is a big city, so there.
Don't put because and so together.
Lots of advanced public facilities there. Sorry.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay, so she had some trouble saying the word facilities.
Such as we have several big shopping malls. One of them is called Yuanrong, and there's many hospitals in the city center or.
Long pause there. There are many hospitals in the city center. Okay.
In the just next to our university, yeah.
Okay, and she went from in to next to the university, so some self-correction there. So not exactly very, very fluent.
Our university, yeah.
Okay, I don't know why she ends all her answers in yeah. Maybe she's nervous.
Okay, now let's talk about crowded places. So where is crowded in your hometown?
Well, I think on the road, so during
Okay, that's difficult to understand. Okay, I know here she's talking about something about rush. But on the road, and then during, and there's no noun. She just says sorry. So again, not very fluent.
During the rush time, there are lots of traffic jam on the road.
Okay, so during rush hour, there's no verb here. Is there a verb? There, lots.
During the rush time, there are lots of
No verb.
traffic jam on
Traffic jams.
the road because lots of workers need to commute and to go back home or
You don't commute to go back home. You commute home, because commute means to either go to work, or go to school, or go home. So you commute home. You don't commute and to go back home.
workers need to commute and to go back home or go on for work.
Nope. It's commute home, commute to work. Commute home, commute to work.
So I think that is one of the crowdest.
There's no word like crowded. It's most crowded. I think that is one of the most crowded.
Time and place in our city.
But now remember, if you say one of, then if the noun is, well, the noun has to be countable. So it's going to be one of the most crowded times and places in our city. I don't really know what the place is that she's talking about. I know she's talking about rush hour in terms of time, but in terms of place, what is the place? Is it the road? I'm not sure that's what the question is asking, but okay. I think the question is asking, like, is it the train station or the mall or whatever? Anyway.
And how do you feel when you're in a crowded place?
Well, I feel nervous and a little bit uncomfortable because when a place with full of people.
When a place with full of people. When a place is full of people. When a place is full of people.
When a place with full of people makes me.
Okay, I see. I was wrong. So, places full of people, or when a place is full of people, it makes me feel stressed. When a place is full of people, it makes me feel stressed.
Makes me feel stressed because I really.
I don't really understand the logic behind this. Okay, so I feel nervous because I feel stressed. Isn't that the same thing? I'm not sure. I think so.
I really like a peaceful and a very cozy environment.
Okay, so I really like a peaceful and very cozy environment. I don't know if you can call parts of the city cozy. Cozy is usually indoors, not like public places. Public places are not usually described as being cozy.
Be stuck in a very stuck by a very crowded place.
You're stuck in. If you can't get out of somewhere, you're stuck in.
Okay, now let's talk about emails. So how often do you send emails?
Well, I don't have a fixed frequency of sending emails, but
this is not wrong, but no native speaker is ever going to say, I don't have a fixed frequency of sending emails. They might say something like, there's no specific number of emails I regularly send. This is not wrong, it's just unusual.
As long as I receive an email, I will reply to it as soon as possible. And sometimes I need to send an email to my supervisor because I'm a final year of undergraduate students.
Why don't you say I'm a senior? If you really want to say final year, so I'm a final year undergraduate student. Drop the of. I'm a final year undergraduate student. Or just say you're a senior in college.
I'm doing my final year project now, so sometimes
some intonation there. I'm doing my final year project now, and it rises, her voice rises because there's more information to come.
I need to contact with my supervisor.
You don't contact with, you just contact. Contact with, no. Unless contact is a noun. Here it's a verb. So, no. We don't need the with.
By means of email.
Oh, this is not bad. By means of email. I do like that.
Yeah.
And what emails would you be happy to receive?
So, I really...
Well, the sound quality really sucks here.
If I get if I get an email from Ideal University from...
Look at an email from my Ideal University. I think she's trying to say Dream University. The university you really want to go to is your dream university.
Postgraduate study, I will be extremely cheerful because... Cheerful. I really want to go to Imperial College London.
Yeah, cheerful's not the right word to use here anyway. So I will be over the moon. I think that's what the woman suggests also, if you want to use idiomatic language. Or I'll be ecstatic, or I'll be on cloud 9.
Imperial College London for my postgraduate study. So if I get this email, I will just become crazy, yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay? You have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish. Okay, I'd like you to describe a person you wanted to be similar to when you were growing up.
Okay, here's the minute preparation, and here she starts.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you have 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you. I'll tell you when the time is up. Could you start speaking now, please?
The person I'd like to tell you about is...
This is probably the ideal introduction. The person I'd like to tell you about. Not the person I want to share with you. Don't use the word share. Just say the something I'd like to tell you about is something. Great introduction. The person I'd like to tell you about is who? My teacher or something.
My secondary is my English teacher in my secondary school.
But again, it's so disfluent here. Secondary is my... It's not very fluent.
To tell you about is my secondary is my English teacher in my secondary school. And I met him on the first
here it's a him.
day of my secondary study. And she is...
Now it's a she. It's a little bit confusing, isn't it? Okay, anyway, let's see here. I would suggest here, drop the my. So I met him on the first day of secondary school. Or I met him on the first day of school. Not study. First day of school.
Study. And she is my English teacher.
But this was in high school, right? Secondary. So why is she using the present tense? To get a 7, error-free for grammar, error-free sentences need to be frequent.
And she taught us lots of knowledge about English grammars, vocabulary.
There's no such word as grammar. Well, I shouldn't say no such word. But here it's English grammar and vocabulary. There's no S. Grammar, vocabulary.
And so on. And what's more...
That's a nice phrase. What's more, yeah?
She also played some English songs during the class.
Class. It's not class, it's class. She played some English sounds. I don't know what that means. Is it like English conversations, English music, English what?
To arouse our...
It's not arouse, it's arouse. Arouse.
Interest. And also, she showed us some movies from America, and so that we may exposed to...
So here she says, should we may expose. What's wrong? What's the problem here is it should be be, so that we may be exposed to. The be verb is missing. Remember, she's using the passive structure here, and the passive is made by be verb plus past participle, and here the be verb is missing.
A native English environment.
Environment is a countable noun, so we need an article. Where is the article? So that we may be exposed to a native English environment.
Sometimes after class.
She says class again. Class.
I asked her for help if I had any questions.
Okay, here we have an if structure. If I had any questions, yeah.
Asked her for help if I had any questions, and she didn't have any hesitate to help me.
Hesitate is not a noun. You can't have hesitate. So she didn't hesitate to help me. She didn't hesitate to help me.
The reason I would like to become this person is that
the prompt didn't say which person would you like to become. It's a person you would have liked to be similar to. Let's go back. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. Yeah, a person you wanted to be similar to when you were growing up. So they're not saying who do you want to become, who do you want to grow up to be, who you want to be similar to.
And she is really considerate and very nice.
Hang on a second. The reason I would like to become this person is that she is really considerate and very nice. Okay, so is she still considerate and very nice, or was she considerate and very nice? I don't know. Maybe this candidate knows this teacher, and maybe this teacher still is considerate and nice. But probably was, not is.
And the reason I want to become a teacher is that...
See, this should maybe have gone in the beginning. Like she should have said, oh, I want to tell you about the teacher because this teacher inspired me to become a teacher myself. I mean, she dropped this out of the blue here that she wants to become a teacher.
It is the teacher who gave the second generation knowledge.
I don't know what the second generation is, and I don't know who is the teacher. The who is good. Why did I write UH there? What is going on there?
It is the teacher who gave the...
I'm guessing here she's talking about teachers in general. That's why it's the teacher. May I suggest say teachers? So it's teachers who gave the second generation. I don't know what the second generation is. Where does she start counting from?
Knowledge and to raise them and to
knowledge to raise them. I can't make out that word.
Listen and to let them understand the whole world.
It's not word, it's world. And let them understand the whole world. So yeah, I think here she's running out of things to say. It's close to the end of her part 2. She's struggling a little bit.
So I think being a teacher would be a very exciting course for me. Yeah,
when you hear people talk as hesitantly as this towards the end of part 2, they've run out of things to say. But I do like the grammar here. I mean, she says being a teacher would be, noun would be, and then here's the noun again, course. That's pretty good. Alright, thankfully this comes to an end.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we've been talking about someone you wanted to be similar to, and now we're going to talk more generally about that. So what kinds of famous people would children like to be similar to?
Well, I think such as like movie stars or film stars, because they the adults or children see them on TV very frequently, so they would like to be this kind of person because
okay, there's a couple of things. Okay, so they would like to be, that's fine, but there's no because. Remember, so and because don't go together. And then she says, these kind of person. This kind of person, not these kind of person, this kind of person. Because these person, she keeps on saying, she keeps on saying these person. It's this person or these people. And here she says person, but then the verb is are.
Kind of person because these persons are just in front of the audience, and
this is not wrong, but is it a specific audience? Why the audience? Surely it's an audience. And these kind of people are, who is she talking about again? Film stars. Okay, so maybe we can find a better verb than are. Perform. These people perform in front of an audience all the time. Yeah, perform. Much better verb than just are, right?
Okay.
They get lots of
Okay, I think the examiners had enough.
priorities.
Okay, and oh no, that's fine. Okay, and what kind of qualities do these people have that do you think that are attractive?
I suppose that
I do like this, I suppose.
being unique.
Being, adjective, being unique. That's also good grammar.
Is a really good quality for those famous people, and because
She speaks a bit slowly, a bit too hesitant.
most of our ordinaries in the world
Again, it's world, not word. World. What is an ordinary? Maybe she means most ordinary people, but ordinary people are not called ordinaries. So most ordinary people in the world. And don't repeat the subject, because this is the subject, ordinary people. So you don't need the we. Drop the we.
we are just very sorry, how to say?
Oof. Don't ever say how to say in your test. That shows you don't have the vocabulary necessary to express yourself. Paraphrase. Just go on. Don't say this. You can pause. Pausing is much better than saying this.
Those people to stand out from most of the people so that they become very special.
This is difficult to understand. What is she saying here? Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Okay, so those people to stand out. There's no to. This is the verb, stand out. Stand out is a good verb. Why do we need a to? So those people stand out from most people, so they become very special. I don't know what that means. Celebrities stand out from ordinary people, so they become very special. What does special mean in this context? I don't know.
I think the other reason, the other quality.
I don't even understand the first quality. What is the first quality? Being unique. Okay, so they stand out and they become very unique. Okay, all right. Moving.
They may have is that they can jump out of the comfort zone.
It's not it's not jump out of, it's step out of. They step out of their comfort zone. Comfort zone is a good phrase to use, but it's not jump out of. You step out of your comfort zone.
And they are willing to face the challenges they may have in the future.
Okay, face is a great verb to go with challenges. This is some good collocation.
Okay. And Often famous people endorse products. They're in advertisements.
Yeah, see, I think the examiner doesn't believe that this woman possesses a great vocabulary. Because first she says endorse, but then she simplifies it. She says they're in advertisements. So if the examiner believed that this woman was a strong candidate, she would have just said endorse products. But she herself doesn't really believe it. That's why she adds this sentence here. Actually, I don't think she should have used the word endorse at all.
Do you think that's right, or do you think there's some problems with that?
Well, I think recently there is a trend.
Okay, now recent is in the past, so you can't use the present tense verb when talking about the past. So I think recently there has been a trend.
For those famous people advertise some products.
There's been a trend whereby those famous people advertise products, or there's been a recent trend for those famous people to advertise products?
Some products. So I think this is quite common nowadays. There is
But the question is, do you think that's right, or do you think there's a problem with that? She's not asking for reasons. What's happening?
So there are several reasons. But firstly, if
Notice that the examiner doesn't stop her though. Why is she not saying? She's not saying anything.
they advertise a product, they may appeal the customers to buy this product.
I don't think appeal is the right word here. Oh, also she said the firstly. That's not the firstly. Also there are several reasons. Okay, so there are several reasons. Firstly, if they advertise a product, they may convince customers to buy this product. Convince. You can't appeal somebody to do something. You can appeal to someone, meaning they like you, but here appeal doesn't mean to like you. So they can convince people to buy the product. Wrong verb.
On the other hand, they need to take their responsibility.
I don't quite understand why she says on the other hand, because she said there are several reasons, firstly. So I would expect for the second reason for her to say secondly, but we have on the other hand. This is not another reason. They need to take their responsibility.
On the other hand, they need to take their responsibility to show the real quality of this.
Okay, here towards the end, she kind of tangentially answers the question. But not really. So she's saying people should be honest.
Product instead of just earning some money from these advertisements. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. That's the end of the speaking.
Alright, let's listen to the woman's comments.
Okay. Okay, that was very good. Very, very, very good. Let me go.
I don't really know what that means. Very, very good.
So the fluency is excellent. You have
Fluency is excellent. Okay, I didn't see excellent fluency.
a really good range of introductory phrases.
That is not fluency, that is coherence. This woman is confusing fluency and coherence. They're not the same thing. These examples, such as first of all, on the other hand, I suppose that these make your answers more coherent, not more fluent.
It's like, first of all, on the other hand, I suppose that, at that time. So a really good range of ways to introduce your answer. They're very, very easy to follow, your answer. And you speak, you give long answers to every question.
That has to do with fluency, yes.
So that's very, very good. There's a little bit of hesitation.
That is fluency, yes.
Sometimes you were looking, for a little bit. So just try and keep it smooth delivery. Okay. But it's very good.
She keeps on saying it's very good, but she gave her a 6.
Vocabulary also is excellent. Atmosphere, skyscraper.
Whoa, I need to put a comma in there. Okay, there you go.
Atmosphere, skyscrapers, arouse our attention, stand out, comfort zone. I mean, it was very good, and that was completely sustained throughout.
True, but there were also many examples of words that she used inappropriately.
It was very good. Just a couple of things. Yeah, we say rush hour, not rush time.
Oh,
okay. Rush hour. So it's at rush hour. That's just the name for it. Yeah.
Okay. Rush hour.
And cheerful is more like it describes somebody's personality. So if someone is cheerful, they're happy all the time. Okay, so if you, like, in that case, if you said, if I got this kind of email...
I would be just extremely happy.
Extremely happy, extremely happy. Would be over the moon is a good...
Over the moon is a good idiomatic phrase. Also on cloud 9, as I said before, on cloud 9, yeah. Okay, she's going to keep on talking about happy. Okay, let's see here. Grammar, again, also very good. Everything is very good. Everything is not very good.
Grammar, again, also very good. Complex sentences all the time. Good range.
This is true, but the problem is with the accuracy.
Tenses, all fine.
Tenses, all fine. Tenses, all fine. Tenses are not all fine.
Just a couple of things with prepositions. So after contact, there's no with. You just contact somebody.
Contact somebody. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so you can say get in touch with.
Yes, get in touch.
Or contact, but there's no preposition after contact. Okay, and appeal to. You appeal to somebody. So there's the preposition there.
Let's get rid of that question mark. Okay.
And pronunciation was really nice.
She did have some good features for pronunciation, that is true. But she did also mispronounce a couple of basic words like class and world.
Very nice pronunciation in English.
Thank you.
There's sort of really no interference from your first language. Very easy to understand. Have a little bit of an American accent. So that's really, really good.
No. Your accent doesn't matter. As long as your accent doesn't influence how easily people can understand you. If you have a strong accent and it's difficult to hear what you're saying, then it's important. If you sound American, it doesn't matter.
I think you'll do. I think you'll do very well.
Okay, let's skip ahead to the score. Probably get to 6.5. Onto a 7. I don't see how. She says here, last time I did 6. That's probably closer to her actual score. So I think the woman is lying to her when she says close to a 7. No. She did the test last time, she got a 6. If she does the test again, she's probably going to get a 6 again. That's where she stands. Okay, let's look at the fluency and coherence in part 1. I don't know why she said An is located in the southeast of China. We don't really need the An. It's a big city located in the southeast of China. There are several reasons. First of all, that's good. This city, some referencing. Here we have the phrase on the other hand. We have so, because. Here she struggled to say what she was trying to say. So it came out a little bit incoherent. Here she says such as we have several big shopping malls. It's just such as. So there are lots of facilities such as several big shopping malls. One of them, yeah, that's good. In the just next to, not very coherent. This, well, I think that's good. On the road, so during, this doesn't make sense. I mean, she did self-correct here, but still, as it came out originally, it's hard to understand. We have because, we have so I think, well I feel nervous because I'm stressed. I don't really understand this reason here, so it's kind of like circular logic there. We have because, we have instead of, we have well. Here she said as long as I receive email. I think what she's trying to say is when, not as long as. Here we have sometimes. She says so. I really, if I get an, I don't know. She didn't start off very strong here. We have because and so at the end. And then the Lexus in part 1, nothing special there. Here we have that atmosphere, we've got skyscrapers, we have traditional, the combination of, I do like that phrase. Nothing there, nothing there. We've got rush time, she should have said rush hour. Commute, it's not a bad word to use. There's no such word as crowded. And this should be one of the most crowded times and places. Nothing much there. This fixed frequency, it's not really wrong, but like I said before, no native speaker is going to say fixed frequency. So maybe you could say I don't have a set number of emails that I send. As long as I receive email. Oh, as long as I receive email. So she didn't say an email, she said email, so I will reply to it. As long as I receive email, I will reply as soon as possible. Drop the it. This final year of undergraduate student, I'm a final year undergraduate student. Drop the of, contact, drop the with, by means of, that's a good phrase. If I get an email, I don't know why email is red here. Let's change that to black. Okay, this should be Dream University. Cheerful, we talked about already. And nothing else there. For the grammar, we have this relative pronoun which. Nothing else there. Combination that makes. This is a good phrase. Combination that makes. This makes and combination go well together. Nothing there, nothing there. I talked about this before. People need to commute home and to work, not on for work. So commute home and to work. That is one of the most crowded times and places. Drop the the. The the is here, not here. When a place is full of people, not with full of people. Instead of being stuck in a crowded place, being and in, Here she uses will. Actually, will need. Send email, pick some of final year students. Okay, here she uses the continuous. Just a little bit of variety. She's been using the present tense a lot, and here she uses the continuous. Here we have an if structure, if I get, and here she uses the modal will. Okay, the fluency and coherence in part 2. I do like this introductory phrase. It's very simple to understand. Not simple, it's very easy to understand. Simple, but easy to understand. I'm not sure why she said and here. The him is confusing because after that it became a woman. He became a woman. She was my English teacher, I suppose, not is. So it's a little bit confusing because is and then at that time. When you're talking about the past, why are you using is? It's a little bit confusing. And so on. I do like that. And what's more, adding some more points. We have sometimes, we have the reason, to introduce the reason. Here the same thing. And at the end, her conclusion, if you will, is introduced with the phrase, so I think. Okay, for the lexes in part 2, these my's are not wrong, but that's not what people usually say. Usually people just drop this. They say, and I met him on, this start here. The teacher in, my English teacher in secondary school, no my. I met him on the first day of secondary school, no my. The study is not wrong, but again, usually people are going to say school, of secondary school. This is grammar, this is vocabulary. Arouse interest, that is a good collocation. These two words go together very well. Exposed is a great verb. And native English environment, great adjective and noun. This should not become this person. Is a person you want to be similar to. Not become. Considerate is a good adjective. I don't know what the second generation means. Not sure about that. And I guess that's about it. Okay, the part 2 grammar. Here she uses the right preposition on the first day, but she uses the wrong tense. She was my English teacher. Nothing special here. Here she uses may, modal. Then she tries to use the passive voice, but she doesn't use the be verb. So we may be exposed to, and for native English environment, because environment is a countable noun, we need an article. So we may be exposed to a native English environment. Here we have an if clause, if I had. She didn't have any hesitate. Well, hesitate is not a noun, so I don't know why there's an any there, so she didn't hesitate. The reason I would, there we have a modal. Not sure why this is here. Let's get rid of that. Here we have the who. We have a relative pronoun. Like I said before, not sure what the second generation refers to. Here we have being a teacher. This noun phrase would be an exciting course. Course is a noun, so this also needs to be a noun, and it is being a teacher. Okay, the fluency and coherence in part 3. This introductory phrase, well, I think, such as like, to give examples, because then we have they and adults or children. Drop the they, because you're talking about adults and children. Drop the they. We don't need two subjects for the verb there. And here we have because, so don't use so. Actually, sorry, because is here. Don't use so and because together. She says these kinds of person. It's this kind of person or these kind of people. And here she does the same thing. I suppose used to introduce the answer. The other used to introduce the second quality. Here we have well, I think, as an introductory phrase. We have some referencing with those. Several reasons. The first, not the firstly. This, on the other hand, I would have expected to see secondly. So it's kind of a pity that she uses but on the other hand. Why doesn't she, instead of saying on the other hand, but also they need to take responsibility? And here at the end we have this instead of. For the Lexes in part 3, these, let's imagine it's people. R is not wrong, but surely there are better words than just a be verb. So like I said before, why not use the word perform? Unique is a pretty good adjective. There's no such word as ordinaries. Maybe she means ordinary people. Never say how to say in your test. That just shows you don't have the vocabulary. Stand out is pretty good. Jump out, it should be step out of their comfort zone. Comfort zone is good, jump out is not. Nothing there. Here, like I said, I think she wanted to say convince people to buy products, and this should be to take responsibility. No there. Okay, for the grammar in part 3, nothing here really. Here she adds being to the adjective to make it a noun, because we're talking about qualities, so it has to be a noun, and she does make it a noun. We have some modals here, may and may. Here she uses the wrong tense. The wrong tense for trend. If you're talking about trend, use the present perfect tense, unless the trend is finished. If the trend is finished, then just use the past tense. Wrong be verb, should be are, no the. Here we have an if clause, if, and the modal. Unfortunately, the verb is not the right verb, but that's more of a lexical problem. Instead of just earning, like here she said to, oops, let's try that again. Here she said to show, and here she uses earning with instead of v-ing. So she got that right. And that's about it.